Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Vinavathitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. So, story of Kathopanishad, I think all of you will be knowing already. This is a dialogue between Yama, so we affectionately call Yamaraj, but who we have no affection for. Yama and Nachiketa. And Nachiketa had three boons. He asked. Yamaraj asked Nachiketa, you please ask for three boons. You're told you ask for three boons, and he gave. That first boon Nachiketa asked, that a very smart boon also. When I return home, may my father accept me. So, in the first boon, there are several boons. One is I should return home. Then may my father accept me and then not be angry with me and all of that. And then the second boon, he asked for some ritual to reach Swarga. Ritual is called as a fire, Agni, to reach Swarga. And finally, which is the most important of the boon, he asked for Adhyatma Vidya, the knowledge of higher reality, like that. So, those are stages actually, if you see the boons also, stages in our development. So the first boon he asked for is himself and his immediate family. He should go back and father should accept him and all of that. So it involves himself and his immediate family. And this is how the sadhaka also walks the path. He thinks about his own well-being and his family and all of that. And in the second boon, that Nachiketa fire to reach Swarga, is for the whole society. People can follow that and reach. Everybody can follow. And the last boon is about mukti. And that is the important thing. Enlightenment, mukti, nirvana, moksha, I don't know, whatever names, realization. People have all sorts of different names for that. And that is the topic really of the Upanishads. The rest of the thing is just stories and all about taking care of family and taking care of society, seva, all of that. That is not the topic of Upanishads. Upanishad is about Atma Jnana. And that was the last boon which he asked. And what exactly is this Atma Jnana and Upanishad? Now this should be our topic. All the other things we'll see in different places. We'll see in the evening also Ramayana. You see it in Bhagavatam, we see in all the Prakarana Granthas and all of that, right? The introduction to so many different terminologies and ideas. Of course, they will come in Upanishads also, but the theme of Upanishads really is Atma Jnana. And why is it like that? This is a very simple thing. Jiva only has one problem, Jiva's one problem is Ajnana. And so, Ajnana only has one antidote. Jnana. Like darkness only has one antidote. Light. There are some things in the world like that. See if there's dust on your mirror. You can One antidote is wind, you can blow it out. Another antidote is cloth, you can wipe it out. Another antidote is water, you can wash it out. So many things like that, they will have more than one antidote. But darkness only has one antidote. And in the very same way, ignorance only has one antidote. You may do whatever you want, but it will not go except for Jnana, knowledge. Many times people also ask, but Swamiji, people who follow the bhakti marg, they say they also will get mukti. Or some other marg, they will get mukti also. And bhaktas don't talk about ajnana and all. They only talk about devotion to Bhagavan. So then how will they will get mukti? And we in Vedanta, we say, our one problem is ajnana. If we don't get jnana, then no mukti. And bhaktas say, no, also we will get mukti. You people, you think too much of yourself. We also will get mukti. So, the answer for that question, how bhaktas also will get mukti or what? And karma yoga and bhakti yoga one and same. It is not really two different paths. Because when you're doing karma, you're doing in dedication to Bhagavan. This is bhakti yoga only. So, Bhagavan Shri Krishna gives the answer to that question in Bhagavad Gita also. He says that the people who follow the path of bhakti, we don't have to worry. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Those people, I give buddhi yoga. I give knowledge. In the next verse also, Tesham eva anukampartham aham ajnanajam tamaha. The tamas born from ajnan, nashayami. I destroy it. And that can be destroyed only by knowledge. It means to say, even for a bhakta, satatu yuktanam, those who are all the time keeping their mind on Bhagavan, those people also get mukti because Bhagavan himself comes and gives jnana in a moment. So the jnana idea of Upanishads, that is also preserved in Bhakti Marg. Jnana is still supplied. Jnana is supplied by Bhagavan in a moment. So the truth that jnana is the thing that is required for mukti, that is preserved. Still it is jnana only. So, the Upanishad deals with this thing. Now, we have a limitation of language. In all languages, there is a limitation of language because we say, Sashantimati gacchati, he reaches that state of shanti. Or there is vastu praptam, the acquisition of the vastu, the reality, the thing. Or even in Sanskrit or English, the language limitation is like this. Mukti is presented as something which we will get, which is futuristic. It is presented as something which we do not have, because if you say will get, there are two problems there. Will means in future. Get means I haven't gotten it yet. I will get it. I haven't obtained yet. I will obtain. So this is all limitations of language. Actually, the truth is, I am Nitya Mukta. Nitya Mukta means I am all the time Mukta, liberated. So if you're liberated already, then how you will get it? There's nothing to get. And if I'm liberated already, where is the future? And so we walk about with this in our head. Yes, I hope by this lifetime in this lifetime. So we're thinking that down the road, I will get mukti. So we're putting it in future. All of us walk around like that or not? The language problem. And the language problem is a big barrier also. It makes us also think the wrong things. So how we should start thinking? Actually, the scriptures tell everywhere, I'm Nitya Mukta. My Nitya is Mukta. What can bind Brahman? Nothing can bind Brahman, isn't it? Paramatma, Atma, cannot be bound. So, I am already Mukta. But what the problem is? The problem is, even though I am Mukta, I am just merely thinking I am not Mukta. And the Upanishad is not to bring Mukti, but it is to remove that wrong thinking. That is the idea. Gurudev gives the example, I'm sure all of you have heard, of that lady wearing that necklace. She and her husband are getting ready to go to some wedding, and she is dressing. And husband is already dressed and waiting outside, as is the case normally, I think. So she is getting dressed, and she is looking everywhere for her necklace. And then she can't find it, and she goes outside and asks the husband, have you seen my necklace? He said, you mean the one you're wearing? So then she realizes, oh. So she's looking for something which she already has. So the question which arises is, at that moment, does she find it or did she have it already? Actually, she had it already. You can't find something which you already have. What happens in that? The example is very nice. What happens is, there is merely the removal of ignorance by the knowledge which the husband gives. So he gives a piece of knowledge. That piece of knowledge removes a piece of ignorance, and that removal of the piece of ignorance reveals the already present thing which is already there. It doesn't bring it. So mukti is like that. We have to start like this. Upanishad will not bring mukti. Guru will not bring mukti. Tradition will not bring mukti. Nobody can bring mukti. Mukti is my nature, my swarupa. Mukti. So what it brings is knowledge which removes non-awareness of my innate swarupa. There's a non-awareness of my swarupa. I'm oblivious of my nature. So the Jnana brings the removal of that oblivion. That is the idea. So now all the Upanishads are designed like this only. No, this is easier said than done, that you know already. It is easily said, but not so easy to do, because you know, like the prince is going to rescue the princess. You know, in all the fairy tales and all, the prince is going to rescue that princess. But before he gets there, there is a fire-breathing dragon, you know. So, there's a fire-breathing dragon there, so he has to, you know, first of all, get rid of this dragon, and when he gets rid of, you know, in the movies and all, one obstacle and then another obstacle, and before he gets to that princess. By that time, princess rescued herself only. Because things are so bad. But anyway, the idea is before he gets there, there's so many things that he has to deal with. So in the very same way, before this knowledge can remove this ignorance and my nature be known, there are so many things that we have to deal with. This jiva. The jiva will not allow this knowledge to remove this Ignorance. For a number of reasons. For example, I tell you. Now see, if this guru is giving this knowledge, this jiva has to sit quietly and do shravanam, isn't it? Now, this jiva is not used to doing shravanam. And in today's world, I don't know what is happening to the world. Over and over, so many problems are coming in next generation and all about attention. Isn't it? It's very difficult for people to pay attention. So no, that is an obstacle. The mind, which has to be connected to the air, that mind and air connection. So instead of listening, we just hear. Sometimes it just goes through there and goes from the other side. And when everybody laughs, then the mind comes back. And then you ask, what he said? What he said? So this is an obstacle only. It means to say that really the guru is giving knowledge, and that knowledge only has one target, ignorance. And ignorance only has one antidote, knowledge. But between that knowledge and that removal of that ignorance, so many problems come. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna, pramati balavadradam, isn't it? That mind which is coming in between there, that fellow will not allow this thing to take place. So how many things he have to deal with now? Before he reaches that princess, how many things he has to deal with in between? And dragon? His mind is like dragon, you know. That's why it drags on. It goes on like that. Life, that's why I say punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam. Again and again, birth again and again. That because he did not allow that gyan to remove that agyan. Right. So all of these things have to be dealt with, and people ask Swamiji, hold on. Do we have to remove all of these obstacles and all of these problems of the mind? And, we have to remove them first and then let the Guru give Gyan? Or can we do both together? Well, there's no question about that. Actually, we are doing both together only. Isn't it? If we wait for all these durgunas, we call them, negative traits, if we wait for all of them to be removed, then only we go and ask the Guru for Jnana. Well, these fellows have no end. These durgunas, they have no end. So, what we say, a relative amount of chitta shuddhi, means the removal of these durgunas, relative amount of that is required when we can start listening to this knowledge. Also, in the presentation of the knowledge, many tips and many guidance is given as to how to remove those durgunas also. So we have to go on listening. So the two go together at some point. Right. So we have to be cognizant now that knowledge is being presented. I should be present, and I have taken a resolve to keep the mind here and listen correctly, and then do mananam. And after doing mananam, I sit down and I do nididhyasanam, meditation on that knowledge and all of that. Huh? Then only that knowledge will remove this ajnana. Otherwise, it doesn't happen. Not so easy. I'm telling you all of this because I don't want you to think that in these few days you will get mukti. That may or may not happen. Then we'll say, Swamiji came and gave all his knowledge also, and then I did not get mukti also. I don't know what happened. All right. So, we'll see now. This chapter which we have chosen also, I don't know, it is Tritiya Valli, third section, chapter 2, I think, isn't it? Chapter 2. This book doesn't have the numbers so proper. It starts with Ritam Pivanto Sukritasya Loke. I don't know what page it will be there. Page number you got?
147.
147. Is it? 147. Ritam Pivanto. You seeing that?
Here it's 264. Krutam Pibante.
Ritam. If you have a different edition, it might mean a different page. 147? Okay. All right. Let us chant and then we'll see. We'll get into. Found it? I'm still hearing pages. Ritam pibanto sukritasya loke. Guham pravishto parame pararthe. Chaya tapo brahma vido vatanti. Panchagnayo ye chatrinachiketaha. Okay. This mantra and the next mantra in the chapter, Gurudev says, it appears as though they are later interpolations. Later interpolations means they somehow came in after, because these things are means thousands and thousands and thousands of years old, you know. So we don't know. Because in this chapter, a really nice example or metaphor of a chariot is given. And these two mantras seem not to flow into that example. But all the same, Bhagavan Shankaracharya, Puja Gurudev also, and all the acharyas, they still look at the mantra because it comes in Upanishad. And some great value will be there. Huh? And actually, if you look at the words individually and all, they're very deep words. Now I'll tell you. Ritam pibantau sukritasya loke guham pravishtau parame pararthe. Pibantau, pib in Sanskrit means to drink. Pibati. To drink. But I don't know if you know a little bit of Sanskrit. When this au comes, you know, pibantau, it means two people are drinking. And the next line also, pravishto. Pravishto means two have entered, two are there in that place, two. In those who don't know Sanskrit, in English, we have singular and plural. So you have boy and boys. Singular, plural means boy means one boy. Boys means two or more. But in Sanskrit, there is one additional layer of complexity. What additional layer of complexity? There is a word for singular, there is a word for dual, and there is a word for more than dual. Like that. A word for one, a word for two also, and then a word for more than two. So in English language, that word for two is not there. So this is how this pibanto comes. It will be pibantaha, pibanto, pibantaha, like that. So 3 words instead of just 2 words. So the 2 of them, they drink. Now it's not telling which 2 and all. But this is Upanishad, you know. It is presumed that we have studied some Upanishad before. So he's talking about 2 of them. 2 of them drink. What they drink? Sukritasya loke. Ritam sukritasya loke. Sukritasya means the results. Ritam sukritasya. The results of all prior actions. We'll see with two just now. But they drink the results of prior actions. Loke means in this world. And where are they? Guham pravishto. The both are sitting in the heart. Guha means heart. The deepest part of the personality, Guham. And that place is Parame Pararje. It is the seat of the highest reality, Brahman. So the two are there, and they're sitting, and they're drinking. What? Results of past actions. Then the two are called by the rishis Brahmavidaha Vadanti. They call these two Chaya and Tapa. Light and shadow. Light and shadow. These are their two names. Not real names. See where nicknames come from? In our Indian tradition, everybody has a nickname. He will have one name. This is Devendra. Devendra is his name. In village, everybody goes Devu. Deva. There's something, they will shorten that. They will give him some other name. And I don't know what you call it. This is my call name. And this is my real name. Like that. Well, one of these two, one is called Chaya, and the other one is called as Tapa. Shadow and light. And who called them like that? Rishis called them like that. Their nicknames. Actually now, who are these two? These two is Jiva and Paramatma. Jiva and Brahma. The two. So now if you take two of them and you go back over the whole thing now. So Jiva and Brahma, I hope these words are all clear in your mind also. Jiva and Brahma. See, it's amazing how this Sanskrit language was developed for Adhyatma Jnana. I told you, Adhyatma Vidya. And with regard to the Adhyatma Jnana, there itself, the language is most unclear. At all other places, the language is very clear. So I'll tell you, most unclear means what? Most people get mixed up between Brahma and Brahma. Now, just short, small difference. Brahma and Brahma. And most people don't say Brahma, they say Brahma. So, in the most important thing in the Sanskrit language is Brahman. We have a wrong pronunciation and there's a misunderstanding also. Two things at one place. So, let me just try to clarify this. Brahmaji is Brahma, Vishnu and Mahesh. That is different. And Brahma, short a, not a. Brahma is the supreme reality. And it is B-R-A-H-M-A. B-R-A-H-M-A. And in Brahmaji, the M-A is long, Brahma. And in Brahma, the M-A is short. You have to be careful about this. So the absolute reality is Brahma. And it is, what we do, we put Brahma. Instead of M-A ending, we put H-A ending. So that mix-up is there. So try to get that clear. So what I'm telling is very ironic that this language which is developed for Brahma Jnana, right in the Brahma word itself, we make two mistakes right there. Ironic thing. Anyway, so the absolute reality is called as Brahma, and the substantive form of that Brahma is actually Brahman. So you hear that word sometimes also. Brahman. Don't get confused with all of these words. Brahman, Brahma, one and same only, and it means the absolute reality. So now, these two, one is Jiva and one is Brahman. So Jiva and Brahman are sitting in the heart, the cave of the heart, and both of them are drinking. And drinking what? Drinking the results of past actions. Well, there are a lot of problems with this statement. Many problems. If you're a Vedanta student, a lot of problems will be there. Because Brahman or Brahma, right, is said to be akarta. Brahma is akarta. He doesn't do anything. Then how are you telling he's drinking? Then he also doesn't have, if he doesn't do anything, he's akarta, then no action, no result. So how result is coming to him? Then he is sitting in the heart. I thought he was all pervasive. I thought he was there everywhere. So ordinarily when we read, this thing has a lot of problems. And actually, this type of language is there all over the Upanishads. If we can't think fast, this language will be very confusing. So, let me tell that thing now. See, Jiva is really the one who is doing actions. And it's Jiva who is really receiving results. Correct or not? Because the Upanishad everywhere tell Paramatma, Brahman, really doesn't do his akarta. And if he is akarta, then where is the question of results? No question. So first thing, Jiva is the one who is doing actions, and Jiva is the one who is receiving results. Karma and karma phala belong to Jiva. Okay. So now, Jiva is nothing but the product of Jara Vastu and Chetan Vastu coming together. He is the product of this thing. Jiva is first of all made up of the 5 elements when they undergo all of these, Panchikarana and all of you know that. You study. So Jiva on this side is product of all of these 5 elements, and then when the consciousness reflects in these 5 elements now, only the 5 elements become Jivit. Become alive, right? So that product of the coming of the 2, that product is called as Jiva. Just to simplify the whole thing, right? Okay, so now, Jiva is nothing, means these 5 elements cannot become Jivit, cannot become consciousized, had it not been for Paramatma reflecting in this. In other words, if you just have the 5 elements sitting there, the 5 elements will not be able to cognize or experience anything. When the consciousness reflects in these 5 elements now, the 5 elements get the ability now to perceive, experience, and all the other things like that. So the Jiva also cannot experience the results of past karma if the consciousness is not there. If consciousness is not there, this Jiva cannot experience anything. So from that standpoint, it is saying that the 2 of them, Jiva and Paramatma, they are experiencing the results of past action. No, this point has to be dwelt on. is very important point, because while Brahman, Paramatma, is not an experiencer, experiencing cannot take place without Paramatma. That is the idea. So now Gurudev's example for this, a nice example is to be. Without the gas, the car cannot get in an accident. Correct or not? Where there is no gas, where it will go? Without the gas, the car cannot get in an accident. But when the car gets in an accident, is the gas responsible for that? See what a wonderful thing, eh? You can't blame the gas. Because of this gas, this car got in an accident. Therefore, let us punish the gas and put him in jail. No. So, what a peculiar state. Without gas, no accident. But when the accident happens, you still can't blame the gas. So, in the very same way, without this consciousness, Jiva has no experience. But when the experience takes place, we cannot say it is consciousness that had the experience. It is Paramatma that had the experience. Really, it is the Jiva that had the experience. You get this thing? So now, from one standpoint, because without this consciousness, the Jiva cannot experience anything. Without consciousness, without Paramatma. So therefore, from that standpoint, we say the two of them are experiencing, drinking, experiencing the results of past actions. From that standpoint only. And if we just go deeper into it, we'll realize really it is the Jiva that had the experience. This Paramatma, consciousness, was only supporting or facilitating the experience, because without him there would have been no experience. That is the idea. So from that limited standpoint, says both of them are drinking. Drinking what? The results of past action. This is a most wonderful phrase. This is a Ritam phrase. Ritam Sukritasya, together when you put these words. In chapter 5 of Bhagavad Gita, at one place you'll see Bhagavan saying there, na karitritvam, na karmani, lokasya srijati prabhu, na karma phalasam yogam, swabhavastu pravartate. What he means, Bhagavan is telling in that verse, look here. Here is Jiva, here is karma, and here is karma phala. So this Jiva does this karma, and this karma results in this phala. Huh? So three things are involved there. So Bhagavan says in Gita, look, when this Jiva does this karma, I am not involved in any of that. Means I am not consciously involved in any of that. And when he does this karma, this result comes, I am not involved in that also. Because he said, na karma phala samyogam. Means I don't connect this result to this action. I am not involved. What he says, how that works? Swabhavastu pravartate. This all works automatically. Otherwise, Bhagavan will have to be sitting all day, and there are 7 billion of us on this earth, and we do 7 billion karmas a day. So 7 billion by 7 billion is like plenty billion. Right? And so Bhagavan will have to be looking at that all day, and this Jiva does this karma, and this karma will bring this result, and Bhagavan has to connect both of them. He will have no time. So he says then in Gita, this is swabhavastu pravartati. This thing is all going on automatically. And actually that's how law works. Law works like that, na? All law works like that. The Congress makes the law, but a congressman doesn't come and stand on the corner of the street just to see if you're following that law. What is? He puts the law in place, but then there is a process for the law to take its own course. Correct? The law operates. So in the very same way, the whole universe is governed by a million laws, infinite number of laws also. And the law sees to it that this karma, and the jiva, karma and phala, all three are connected automatically. Nobody has to do anything. Swabhavastu pravartate. You know why this comes? Why this confusion comes? This confusion comes because everywhere in so many bhajans, all Hindu people go on singing, Bhagwan is karma phala data. Have you heard that? He's karma phala data. This comes from Bhakti Marg. So it means he gives the results of your karma. That has to be understood. He is. But that has to be understood properly. Understood how? Understood that if this jiva does this karma, it leads to this phala. Right? That part is clear. These are laws that are operating, and the laws are non-transgressible laws, fully 100% guaranteed. Something else will not happen. This jiva does this karma, it will lead to this result. That is governed by laws and nobody can break them. Nobody can break the laws. Why? Because it is Bhagwan who holds the laws in place. You see, the laws that are made by the Congress is the laws go on, the laws are carried out because there is an underlying principle that governs every law in the state, and that law is called the rule of law. Everybody in the country adhere to the rule of law. It means it's an underlying thing which makes sure that the rule of law pervades. So actually here Bhagwan is the one who makes sure that all the laws are kept in place. He doesn't have to make sure that this karma leads to this result and all that. He just has to make sure that the laws are kept steady, the laws are kept fixed, that nobody can go outside the law. So from that standpoint, if he doesn't do that, then what will happen? You will do the crime and I will do the time. Means you will do some crime and I will go in jail. No, but Swamiji, we see that happening all the time. So many people are innocently convicted and they spend 25 years in jail and then they find out that this person did not do this crime. And they don't worry, there is some other karma phala he received. He was in jail for 25 years for not he was convicted for crime A, which he did not commit. And he spent 25 years in jail. And then they realized he was wrongly convicted. He spent 25 years not for crime A. He spent 25 years because of some other crime, which they did not catch him. Just like they did not catch this fellow for crime A, some other fellow. So anyway, Bhagwan is the one who holds all the laws in place to make sure that none of the laws can be broken. So that when this jiva does karma, this karma leads to this result. Now, why I am telling you all of this is because of this word rhythm. To understand the magnitude of this word rhythm, see, who would have wanted to live in this universe if you do the karma and I get the result, or I do the karma and you get the result? That world will have been livable? No, that world would not have been livable. It means that there is an unimaginable precision in the universe, that the jiva from whom the karma emerges, the jiva from whom this karma emerges, that result has to 100%, with 100% precision, that result has to go back to that jiva, isn't it? If it goes to a second jiva, there will be anarth. The whole world will go topsy-turvy. That 100% precision which governs karma and karma phala and the one who does the karma, the karta, that precision in the universe is as though like a divine law that cannot be broken by anybody, including Bhagwan subjects himself to that. Bhagwan subjects himself to karma phala himself also. So that when he gave Narad monkey face, Narad gave him sharp. Then he also had to come and receive the result of that sharp. You see? Bhagwan also subjects himself to. This law is 100% foolproof, non-transgressible, 100% precise, and it is, you may want to call it a divine law. In fact, Gurudev calls it a divine law. A divine law that dispenses the result of karma with such precision, it is unimaginable to the human mind. That precision and that surety in the universe is called as ritam. That is why ritam is also translated many times as truth. Because 100% truthfully, he who does the karma, he only will get the result. See, usually, we usually don't think about the precision of things in this universe. But it works with 100% precision. Unfailing. So, this jiva who is doing this karma, he sits in the heart receiving the results of all karma, and he is fueled by, he is enlivened by, facilitated by Paramatma, by Supreme Consciousness, and therefore it is saying Pibantau, two of them are drinking, like that. Both are sitting in the heart, drinking. Sitting in the heart, that's where they meet. Paramatma, Jiva meet only in the heart, like that. And now one is given the name Chaya, and the other is given the name Tapa. I mean, light and shadow, shadow and light. So, shadow and light, now you know, one cannot be there without the other. How you will have a shadow without light? Not possible, isn't it? You can't speak of shadow if we don't have light. It means to say, the jiva has no existence without Paramatma. That is the idea. No existence without zero. No, but Swamiji, just now you told that this jiva is made up of the 5 elements. Space, air, fire, water, earth and all. And then this Paramatma reflects in there, and then that jiva is... Yes, so in that, what is there? Had that Paramatma consciousness not reflected there, what you would have had is just 5 elements, nothing, dead, inert, jada. So only when that reflection takes place there, jiva is born. Chit, chaya. So the chaya word is here, see? Chidabhas. So that time, jiva. Now see, when we speak this type of language to explain this jiva and Paramatma and all, we do another thing, which again brings another level of confusion. What is that? What we do? We are now dualizing the universe. We are making a duality. And then you yourself, people say, Swamiji, you yourself said that there is no duality. That is why we speak about Advaita Vedanta. And then you go on telling now there's Jiva and there are 2. The Upanishad itself saying there are 2. And there's Jiva and there's Paramatma. And really it is the Jiva who is doing the karma, and he is the one who is getting all the results and all of that. And Paramatma is Akarta. You're going on making 2. And you here the dual also, Pibantau, Pravishtau. Can't you make up your mind? 1 minute you're telling there two. Another minute you're telling there is one in the universe. Sarvam khalvidam brahma. Ekam advitiyam nanasti kinchana. How many things you go on telling? Bewildering this Vedanta, I tell you. So, what we say is, please see this, and it is not meant to confuse. It may confuse, but it's not meant to confuse. It is meant to start the teaching from where the jiva is. Right now, the jiva feels that they are two or not. We all feel that they are two. So, what is truth and what we feel? They are two different things. All of us feel. See, this leads to a lot of confusion everywhere. We all have the feeling that there is a duality, that there is, multiplicity, that there is a variety. We all have that feeling. We are walking about with that feeling also. And we all have very strongly this feeling of me and mine, you and yours. Everybody has or not? That's why when Bhagwan Lakshmana asked Bhagwan Ram, tell me what is this Maya? Bhagwan Ram says, Maya is that only. What? Meyaru mor tortai Maya. Jai basakine jivanikaya. Means Maya is this feeling of me and mine, you and yours. And we such that feeling is strongly there in our mind. Strongly there. This is me and this is my spouse. This is me and this is my house. This is me and this is my mouse. How strongly we have this feeling. When we go outside also, anybody touches your chappal, then you will see how strong this feeling is. So this jiva has a very strong feeling of duality, dvandva. So the Upanishad starts there, in this strong feeling of dvandva, which all of us have, duality. It is true that there are no two, there is only one. But who experiences that? Nobody experiences. We only experience duality, duality, duality. And you have to reflect on how strong it is. You have not reflected. But I tell you, you're sitting there next to somebody, right? If their leg touches you one time like this only, hey. Has a strong feeling of me and other person, isn't it? So it starts, yes, it admits. This is called adhyaropa. At some point later, there will be apavada. In adhyaropa means there's an acceptance of a duality and acceptance of what you see and what you experience at this level. And later on, that will be denied. And in Taittiriya Upanishad, you have seen how that is denied now. Slowly, how it says, etasmat akasha sambhutaha. From that Paramatma came space. Akashat vayu. Vayu agni. Agni rapaha. Adhya prithvi. So from that reality only came space, air, fire, water, earth. Now if it is coming from the reality, it means space, air, fire, water and earth is a reality only, because there is only one reality. It's coming from that reality. Space, air, fire, water, earth come, and then they split and recombine and all of that, and then they go to form this body. And that same reality is now reflecting in. So Paramatma is reflecting in Paramatma. So now it is one or not. So slowly, from there, it takes you to that next level. Because the same space, air, fire, water, earth coming from the same reality, and same reality reflecting in them. So now they're not two, they're only one. You may have the appearance of two. That is a different matter. Appearance of two, and two actually being there, they're two different things. Because appearance, you know that. See, like the appearance of snake. You may have the appearance of snake, but snake really being there, that is a different matter altogether, isn't it? Appearance never is true. See, when you see the mirage on the highway, you're driving down on a hot sunny day and you see water over there. So there's appearance of water. When you get there, there's any water? No water is there, isn't it? Appearance and reality, they are two different things. So appearance of two and the actual presence of two, they are two different things, you see. So here, what the level we are, the appearance of two. There's the jiva, and we have a strong feeling, very strong feeling of jivahood, all of us. Not any weak thing. This jiva is the one who feels that I am an island unto myself. This is my identity so strong. He is the one who has this wrong understanding and feeling. He is the one who does karma, and he is the one who receives the results of karma. But none of that is possible unless fueled by, enlivened by Paramatma. That is the idea. Huh? Now, this jiva is called the chaya. He is wholly 100% dependent on Paramatma. 100%, like how? See, if you take the part of me that has the 5 elements, well, the 5 elements came from Paramatma only. And if you take the part of me that is conscious, well, the consciousness is Paramatma only. So how many percentage am I dependent on the Paramatma? 100%. Just like the shadow is 100% dependent on light. No light, no shadow. So chaya tapo brahma vidaha vadanti. Those who are the knowers of Brahma, they call these two as chaya and tapa, light and darkness, or shadow and light, like that. Now, the next line is not flowing from these 3 lines. What is that? Panchagnayaha yecha trinachiketaha, meaning to say, now this is just the context. Prior to this, Bhagavan Yama had given the ritual which he had asked for, ritual to go to Swarga. So that ritual was called, he named it after Nachiketa also. He named that ritual after Nachiketa. So he says, the person who does this, you'll see Gurudev's translation also. The one who does this, the 5-fold fire, and those who have propitiated 3 times in Nachiketa fire. What it means to say is, how you can connect it. It doesn't seem to connect, but how you can connect is like this. The one who has done the Nachiketa fire 3 times, that one will become fit to realize what we are talking about. What we are talking about? We are talking about how this jiva is 100% dependent on Paramatma. From a higher standpoint, the jiva is nothing but, if one thing is 100% dependent on the other thing, well, from a higher standpoint, that thing is that only. Because without that, this thing is not even there. So if without that, this thing is not there, non-existent, that means this thing is that thing. So the one who does this Nachiketa fire 3 times, this person makes himself more and more fit, more and more ready to have this understanding that Jiva and Paramatma are one and same. That is the idea. So in fact, this is actually true about all karma kanda. See, Nachiketa fire is a karma kanda ritual, right? So all karma kanda has this benefit only. This karma kanda removes impurities from me, means all rituals remove impurities from me and make me fit to realize Paramatma, that I am one with Paramatma. That is the idea. All right. Okay, now there is one more verse before the chapter gets really into its own main. The chapter has a main metaphor of the chariot. But we'll have to see that one more verse tomorrow because our time has gone away. Let me chant and then we'll take it up tomorrow. Yase turi jana nam.
Yase turi jana nam.
don't worry, it sounds a little funny. One syllable is missing. Uh, say to the Jnana. Huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I missed out one. Yase turi jananam. But one syllable is still missing. It has 7 syllables. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It has 7 syllables. In Sanskrit, it is called a chanda bhanga. Chanda bhanga means one syllable is missing. You have same like that? Yeah. And then in one of the other lines I saw, it has one syllable more. So this syllable has come from there, but you can't put it there. Aksharam Brahma Yat Param Abhayam Titir Shatam Param. There's the one with the extra syllable. Na Chiketam Shake Mahi. Nachiketam Shake Mahi. Alright, this happens sometimes. I don't know. The explanation would be because of the long passage of time, one syllable got missed somewhere. And then again, one syllable got added. But it's supposed to have 8, 8, 8, like that. So the first line has 7, and the third line has 9. We could say, but in any case, it adds up to 32, no problem. All right, we'll see this tomorrow. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.